Welcome to your practice tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Please sit comfortably, whether that's in a chair or on the floor, whether you have some support underneath you, a block, a blanket. Find a seat that's comfortable for you. And then as you get comfortable, you can close the eyes or take the gaze down towards the floor. And just begin to notice what it's like to have your eyes closed and be sitting here all together. We're going to take 3 breaths. On your exhale, you can open the mouth and I want you to sigh it out. And you can just make as much sound as is necessary during that sigh. So taking a nice deep breath in. Sighing it out. 2 more times. One more. Every exhale, see if you could release a little more of your weight onto the floor. Feeling a little heavier in your seat. Breathing into any area that feels a little tight. So starting at the crown of your head, let's do a body scan here of this amazing vehicle of your body. So scanning through the head, the face, the jaw, and the neck. Scanning through the shoulders, the chest and upper back, the rib cage and mid back, the belly and the low back. From the tops of the arms, down the arms to the elbows, down the elbows to the forearms, into the wrists, hands, and fingers. Any area that's feeling tight, have your focus remain there. Take a breath in and exhale through that space. And dropping down into the waist, the front low belly, the back of the hips, the buttocks, your seat, the front of the thighs, right, especially right where they join into the hips, where the hip flexors are. Breathing deeply, releasing any tension, and checking in with your upper legs, through the knees, down through the shins and calves, into the ankles, the heels, the arches of the foot, into the toes. Take a nice deep breath in and sigh it out. Releasing any tension that wants to let go. Just merely opening the door for it, saying it's okay to leave. So bring the awareness now back up into the torso, into the belly, the abdomen. Breathing nice and full. Noticing if the breath can go down into the belly, because sometimes it might stop about mid-belly, the base of the ribs, or we might feel more of our breath up in the chest. So be mindful of where it is. Where it is not right or wrong. It is information that tells us what's happening in our central nervous systems. Inside of all those little messages that are going on inside the body. And invite a deeper breath in and exhale it out. We come together tonight to practice, purely to practice, to move our bodies and our minds and our hearts in this way, in this practice of yoga asana, because the yoga brings us back to our center. It reminds us of the unchanging part of ourselves, while we're a part of constant change within the world. There's a steadiness that rests inside of us. And with every breath and every movement, oftentimes the asana will bring us back to that space where we're steady, where our minds are not reacting but responding, and where we can move and breathe from more freely and clearly. And as we do this practice, we take care of ourselves. And when so many people are taking care of themselves together, we're reminded of one of my most favorite quotes, that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So as I care for myself and each of you are caring for yourself, then that spreads. It can spread like a wildfire of self-care and nurturing. So during your practice, only do that which you are familiar with. Do that which feels right in your body. Take care of yourself as you practice and listen. Because the body feels different every day, and in a time like this, there's even other forces that can have us feeling different every day. So it's important that we go into the practice curious to see what we will be shown, as opposed to thinking or having an expectation that's unrealistic, like we're going to feel the way we felt a month ago in class. That would be an unrealistic expectation, and for me, for my body. So tonight's class is to take good care, to nurture yourself. So I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart. We're going to take just a moment to honor this amazing vehicle of our body, to honor this opportunity and this technology that brings us all together while we're all at home caring for ourselves and the people we love. And we'll chant one Om to get started. So Om is a sound that encompasses the past, the present, and the future. It is a triad of sorts that brings us right here, right now, in this very moment. The past has brought us here. Here helps us lead to the future. And right here, we're going to care for ourselves so we can take those next steps forward. If you want to chant with me, please do. If chanting doesn't resonate for you tonight, then I invite you to just sit, softening the ears to listen. So exhale the breath out, empty the belly. Invite a nice deep breath in. And if you choose, you can bow your head to the heart. Release the hands down, lift the head, open the eyes. Let's go ahead and inhale the arms up and overhead and exhale them down. Inhaling, lifting up and exhaling down. One more time. Inhaling, exhaling. Now here, we're going to keep the right hand down. Inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, we're going to lean to the right. Breathe into your left side body. Give a little push with that right hand and inhale up. Left hand down. Pause. Notice the difference right to left. Left fingertips on the floor. The in-breath takes the right arm up. Exhaling, leaning to the left. Breathing fully, belly, ribcage, chest in the breath. Exhaling, belly, ribcage, chest. Inhaling up. Now this time, let's take the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Right hand back behind you. Sit up nice and straight and tall. As you exhale, we're going to twist gently and slowly to the right. Breathing full. Inhaling back to center. Exhale here. Inhaling that left hand back behind you. Right hand outside the knee. Lift up through the spine. As you exhale, twisting to the left. Inhaling back to center. Let's swap the feet. So if you're sitting and you have one foot in front of the other, I'd like for you to change that positioning. Right hand back behind you, left hand outside of the knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twisting. Inhaling back to center. Exhale here. Place that left hand back behind you, right hand outside the knee. Lift up on the inhale. Exhale and twist. Nice and gentle. Low belly, Mid-belly, rib cage, then chest. The shoulders, neck, and head are the last things to move. Inhale, back to center. Go ahead and take whatever you're sitting on and you can set it aside, and then lie down onto your back. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Just pause here for a moment, hands over the belly. And I want you to become more deeply aware of your breath. Breathing in, belly, rib cage, and chest. Just feeling for the expansion in the belly button, the rib cage, and the chest. And then feeling for the fall of the belly, the contraction of the rib cage, and the release of the chest. Just feeling. Feeling your back on the floor, supported by the earth. I just want you to be aware of the breath here. Now straighten both legs out on the floor. Walk both of your legs over to the right. And then take your arms up and overhead and walk your arms over to the right so that you're in like a crescent pose, or what we would call a banana pose. Extend through your left arm and through your left leg. Breathe into the left rib cage. Inhale the arms and torso back to center, and move the legs back to center. Pause here. And now we're going to walk the feet to the left and move our torso to the left, creating a banana crescent shape. Breathing into the right rib cage. Extending through the right arm and through the sole of the right foot. Inhaling back to center, feet back to center. Bend the knees, feet flat on the floor. Draw your left knee into your chest. Straighten the right leg out onto the floor. Extend that left leg straight up into the air. Now, if you want, you can use a strap or a belt or a hand towel to help you hold on the sole of that foot. Breathing into anywhere that's tight, whether that be in the hips, the back of the thigh, the back of the calf. Now here, point your left foot and feel the stretch on the front of the shin and the top of the foot, and flex the leg back. Point, have it nice and long, and flex. Point. I don't know about you, but the top of that foot has been tight here lately. And flex. Point and flex. Now let's draw circles going to the right with the toes. Like you're trying to draw circles on the ceiling. And let's go the other direction. And then pause and just pull that leg in a little bit more. Now we're going to bend that right leg and cross the left ankle over the right knee and open the knee out to the side. You can stay here, or you can lift that right knee up towards the chest and either interlace the hands behind the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Breathing into the areas that are tight. Now, I want you to engage the muscles onto the bone like a nice hug. A hug, something that we can all use. Hug the body. Embrace where you are right here, right now. And now release that right foot down onto the floor. Draw the left knee into the chest. Now we're going to take that left foot up towards the ceiling. We're going to reach for the sole of the foot and we're going to draw the knee down towards the chest. So not only towards the chest, but actually to the outside of the chest next to our rib cage. So this is half happy baby with a bent knee. Now, if you are feeling open tonight, then straightening that right leg is an option, might be an option for you. Hug the muscles to the bone before you straighten the leg. Listen to your body, feel for your boundaries. Now bring the heel in towards the hip and bring the knee back to the belly to center and hold that leg in and straighten that right leg out again. Release the left foot to the floor and straighten that left leg out. And release and shake it out. Now, bend both knees. Draw your right knee into your chest. Take the hands behind the back of the thigh and straighten that leg straight up into the air. You can use a prop on the sole of the foot to hold the leg or just hold behind the back of the thigh. You can keep the left leg bent or you can straighten that left leg out, taking it down to the earth. And here we're going to point and flex, point, flex, move with your breath. Exhale, point, inhale, flex, point, flex. And now draw circles on the ceiling going in one direction. Let's draw 8 circles. And then let's go the other direction, 8 times. Now we're going to cross. We'll pull the leg in, see if it'll come a little bit deeper after releasing that, and then cross that right ankle over the left knee and open the left knee out. Right here might be where we want to stop. We have to listen to what's happening in the hips. If you want to go deeper, you can lift the ball of the foot, or you can lift the whole foot up off the floor and just draw it in as far as it's comfortable. Hands interlaced behind the back of your left thigh. Place that left foot on the floor. Draw the right knee into your chest. Take the hand inside of the right leg. Reach for the sole of the foot. And we're going to draw that right knee down towards the outside of the right rib cage. Knee kind of moving towards the armpit. Half happy baby. Breathe. Engage the muscles. And as you exhale, go a little deeper. Release the heel towards the hip. Draw that knee back into your chest. Draw the left knee into your chest as well. Take your arms either out fully or you can put them in cactus. Now, the other thing you can do this with me. Go ahead and place the hands on the rib cage. We're going to roll our knees to the left. So right here, there's an opening that's going to happen on that right shoulder. Now, it's going to increase if I extend my arm out. So you might first try arm straight out to the side, and then you might try your arm more in like a cactus pose or the number 4, like a field goal pose, with the elbow bent 90 degrees. To open up through the chest, through the right side of the body as we twist. To deepen this stretch, you move the right knee more over the left knee, closer to where they match up because that stacks the hips, and it will increase the stretch through the pectoral muscles and through the right rib cage, excuse me. Now breathe. Belly, rib cage, chest. Now, if you've turned your head, bring it back to center, and then inhale and lift those knees back to center. Put the feet on the floor, pause here. And then knees draw into the chest, we're gonna go to the left. You can keep those hands on the rib cage until you kind of know where you want your arm. Out fully extended, or if you want it bent, at 90 degrees. To deepen this stretch, if you move your left knee more forward so that it stacks directly on top of the right knee and the hips stack up, then you'll have more of a stretch through the pectoral muscles, through the chest. You do not have to go that far, just a direction in which to go. Inhale the head back to center, draw the knees back to center. And then hands underneath the thighs, roll up. And then swing the knees and feet back behind you. Coming on to all fours. Walk the knees back a few inches, flip those toes under. You can lift that. So I want to give you a couple of options here. We're going to do downward facing dog. So those of you who are familiar with downward facing dog, and we want to know where our mobility is. So it might be such a thing that we need to have a chair, my handy dandy desk chair. We might want a chair in front of us, and we might want to take downward facing dog like this. Or we can take it down on the floor and extend it back. So find what works for you. Go ahead and press those hands down into the floor, lift the hips up, lift the thighs up and back, and then press those heels down into the earth. Now looking up between your hands, place the knees down on the floor and step the right foot forward between the hands, a bent knee lunge. Lift that back leg up, straight leg lunge. And I apologize because I have not done this at night, so I recognize that my lighting in here is a little dark. So I will work on fixing that. Inhale both hands to the top of your right thigh. And then inhale those shoulders back over your hips. You can use a wall, you can use a chair for stability. You can keep the knee down. Find what works for you, okay? You can keep the hands on the thigh, or you can stretch those arms straight up. Squeeze the muscles of the buttocks onto the bones to create support. Hug the muscles onto the thighs. Push down into your feet. Then knee to the earth, fingertips to the floor. And we're going to take that right knee back to meet the left. We're going to take downward facing dog. So from here, there's two options. You can place the knee down and step the left foot forward to come into the straight leg lunge, or you can just step the foot forward from downward facing dog. You can do a straight leg lunge here or a bent knee lunge. Pick what feels good for you. We can use a chair. You can bring the hands to the top of the thigh, shoulders over the hips. Hands maybe even dangle at your sides. You can stretch the arms up, or you can leave them in front of the heart. Keep them on the knee. Find what works for you. You can release the hands or leave them up to bring the knee down to the floor, fingers to the floor, and bring that left knee back to meet the right. Flip the toes under, downward facing dog. Slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Uttanasana. Now, you can use a block here to help elevate. You can come back to your chair for a forward bend here, or to go a little bit deeper. As you inhale, lift and lengthen. As you exhale, bow. I want to encourage you to release here a little bit, make your legs strong, but I want you to let anything that you don't need any tension, like wiggle the shoulders a little bit. Let some of this stuff just come out of the body. Let it go down into the earth. Energies that are not serving us in our highest good, let them go. And then hands to the hips or to your chair. Inhale up halfway, and then inhale all the way up to standing. Good. We'll turn and we'll take a wide stance. So depending on what kind of practice we're looking for, we're going to do some standing postures. They're basic ones, but sometimes it is nice if you've got a chair nearby in order to give you some support when you go into things for balance. So this is a chair is a great tool to help you enjoy your practice more. Turn those left toes in, turn the right toes out 90 degrees. Inhale the arms up, shoulder height. Exhale, right knee over right ankle.
So here behind my knee, I have Ganesha, who is said to be a remover of obstacles. So in this warrior pose, we think about the things that are important to us and how we want to show up in that way. As you exhale, right forearm to the top of the thigh, sweep the left arm up next to the side of the face. Nice long line. Squeeze the muscles of the legs and the hips. Tone the low belly by lifting from your pubic bone to your belly button. As you inhale, come back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten that front leg. Square the feet. Let's go to the other side. Turning those right toes in about 20 to 30 degrees and the left toes out 90 degrees. Arms are up nice and tall. Exhale, lunge, left knee over ankle. Just a direction of movement. Your stance can be shorter and it might need to be shorter. The arms can be at the hips. We don't need to over effort right now. As you exhale, left forearm, top of the left thigh, sweep the right arm next to the side of the face. You can keep your gaze forward, or you can turn and look up towards where the ceiling and the wall meet, or you can rotate and really open up towards the ceiling. Grateful for the temple and the sacred space of our homes. Push down through that left elbow. Inhale back up to Virabhadrasana 2. Straighten that left leg. Square the feet. Step those feet together and shake it out. We're going to balance a little bit because goodness knows as we're going through this process, balance is a little bit harder to find. So we can go to a wall. We can have that chair really close by and balance here. We're going to stand on the right leg. I want you to engage all four corners of your feet, pressing down into the earth and creating strength all the way up that right side of the body. Keeping that weight there. Inhale and lift the left knee up and interlace the hands behind the back of the thigh or the front of your shin. Whatever's easiest. Now, if this is not where you're going tonight, not what's comfortable, you can stay right here with your hand on the chair. Come here, chair. Oops. Feel the work of those joints in the feet. There are 30 joints in your feet. They're doing a lot of work. So feel that, if there's some wavering there. They're just doing their job. They're learning the terrain. You could be on carpet. It might just be a different environment. Release that left foot to the floor. And now we're going to place the weight into the left leg, lifting the kneecap so that we're engaged here in the quadricep muscles. Weight in that left side of the body. Inhaling the right knee up. And either clasping behind the back of the thigh or the front of the shin, maybe holding with one hand or the other. Or maybe our foot is just like right here and we're working to find that middle, to find that steady ground. The winds of change are blowing, so we make ourselves steady and yet flexible. Lift up through the spine. See if you can feel your breath into your pinky toes. And release that right foot to the floor and shake it out. Okay, we're gonna go a step deeper this time. So you can either go to this spot and hold, or this spot and hold, and the next piece that I'm gonna say is that we can straighten the leg, okay? So you need to stop and hold and be present with yourself wherever you are, all right? So, strong right leg, strong right side, lifting that left knee up, interlace the hands behind the back of the thigh. Work the foot so that it's not just like taking a free ride, keep it working. Squeeze the midline with your legs so that you feel your inner thighs fire. And now with your hands in the back of the thigh, press the thigh down, your left thigh down into your hands and stretch your left leg straight. Like so. Squeeze those hip muscles. Allow yourself to waver. Now, release the hands and lower the foot down to the floor. Excellent. All right, standing on the left leg, strong left leg, working all these muscles from the front of the thigh to the side, to the back, into the hip. Everything's hugging in. Lift that knee up, interlace the hands behind the back of the thigh, or stay right here, okay? Hold the chair, steady at the wall, interlace the hands behind the back of the thigh, and stretch that leg straight. And straight might not be parallel to the floor. It might be at an angle. That's okay. Breathing. Exhale and release that foot to the floor. Shake it out. Wide stance. Right toes in halfway, 20 to 30 degrees, left toes out 90. We're gonna do triangle pose here. So let's just find the triangle pose that works best for us. Keep the legs engaged. As we go over, this might be our triangle. This might be our triangle. Like we might do hand to the thigh. We might do hand to the shin. We might do hand to the seat of our chair, or we might go down to the ankle or the floor. Find your edge. Press down, inhale, come all the way up. Turn the feet. Right foot's coming in 20 to 30 degrees, left foot out 90. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lean to the left, hand to the shin, the thigh, the ankle, or to the floor. Inhale, come all the way up. Woo! Thank goodness for walls. Straighten the feet, release the arms, step the feet together, and shake this out. Okay, let's come on down to the floor, onto our bellies. Just take a moment, feel the earth beneath you. Feel that it's got your front side. You can turn your head to the side or face the floor, but just feel. And then we're gonna prop ourselves up onto our elbows. Have the elbows underneath the shoulders and the hands out in front of you. Straight out from underneath the shoulders. Engage the legs by pressing the toes down, the tops of the knees down, and then work your gluteus muscles and extend your tailbone towards the back end of your mat. This is Sphinx pose. It's a nice gentle back bend. Press the elbows down and isometrically pull them towards your hips so that you feel a lift, a little pull, a gentle opening in the front of the body. Draw the shoulder blades more onto the back. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, prop back up onto the elbows. Now this time you can do Sphinx again, or take your hands a little wider apart than your sticky mat. And usually we'd be back next to the pectoral muscles. I want you forward of your, more in line kind of with your nose on your mat. Come up onto ridge tops. Lift your elbows and lift the head of those arm bones away from the floor. So your chest is no longer on the earth. So toes down into the earth, knees down, extend the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, lengthen your torso forward and then come up a little bit for a modified cobra here. A nice wide cobra. You can keep the belly button on the floor while you breathe into the back body. Exhale, lower all the way down. Take your right cheek to the floor and take the arms down to your sides and just rest. Or right ear to the floor. Okay, we're gonna inhale and pop up again. So you can do Sphinx, you can do wide cobra, or you can bring those hands in closer to the chest, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, lift the head of the arm bones by engaging the muscles along the spine to draw the shoulder blades towards the midline. Tops of the feet into the floor, base of the thighs into the floor, extend the tailbone towards the heels, claw the earth with your hands, press the hands down, isometrically drawing them back, inhaling, coming up, nice easy cobra. Just find where you can back bend to. Breathe deep. Exhale, lower all the way down. This time, left ear to the earth, arms down to the sides, and rest. Hands on either side of the chest, push yourself up onto all fours, and then go ahead and swing the legs out and around in front of you to come to sitting. We're gonna stretch both feet out in front of us, Dandasana, the pose of the staff. Now this is where you might wanna have a blanket nearby. I'm gonna use this blanket to sit up on for these seated postures. We're gonna keep the right leg straight and strong. So right here, just Dandasana, the pose of the staff. Toes point up towards the ceiling, legs press down into the floor. As much as the legs press down, the heels press down as well. Lift up through the spine. And now, taking your left hand to the inside of your left leg, we're gonna open that left leg so that the sole of the foot is either at the thigh or it's a little bit wider than that, where the heel is more closer to its own thigh. So left heel to left thigh. Lean forward a little bit and then draw the flesh of the buttocks and the muscles of the hips out from underneath you so that you have more seat firmly on the earth. We're gonna go middle in between the legs first, and then we'll move over the leg. Now, you can have a strap with you, or a belt, a towel, or even a long blanket, a long bath towel can work for helping us to bow forward with that support, okay? Inhale up, and as you exhale, bow forward between the legs, keeping the spine nice and long as you bow. Breathing in long through the spine, exhaling and bowing more deeply. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, bowing. For me, keeping my fingers on the floor is helpful because when I do that, I can engage my upper arms and my upper back to draw my shoulder blades on the back. Sometimes if I go down too fast to the elbows, I'll start this rounding in the upper back, which I'm not really looking to happen because right now I want to keep the front body long like the back body. Inhale and come up. And now we're gonna take this into Janu Sirsasana forward. So we're gonna twist the body in the direction of the right leg. To do that, I like to have my right hand outside of the leg because if I place that hand on the floor and I turn my fingers forward, I can push down and forward and it helps me to create this twist. Lifting up through the spine, bowing forward, reaching with my other hand, my left hand for my knee, my shin, my ankle. I might even utilize my strap here to hold the strap and be able to help lift myself and bend that left elbow to bow forward. Now, as we bow, we want to keep the front body long. We're also really giving a stretch to the back body, to the westward side of our body, a stretch into the unknown, really. Makes me think about Star Trek or something like that, or even the current moments we're in. So we bow into a deeper knowing and we stretch that back body. It's considered a westward stretch. As you inhale, press down through, we're not gonna come all the way up, but we're gonna come up partway. So we're gonna press down through those right fingertips and lift that right rib cage away from the floor. Exhale, extend and bow. Inhale, root the legs down. Inhale, come all the way up. We're gonna lift that left knee, stretch the leg out in front, and then take those hands back behind you and just arch up towards the ceiling. Okay, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna do the other side. I'm gonna turn here, hoping that the visual is a little bit easier to understand in this way. So lift up nice and tall. We're gonna draw the right leg back this time. You can lift the flesh of the buttocks out from underneath you so that you have a nice steady seat. You can feel your sitting bones a little bit more. We're gonna go between the legs first. Lifting up, engage your legs, engage the glute muscles so that there's some stability there, and lift from your pubic bone to belly button to stabilize the core. Keep all of those things happening as you bow. Now bring your awareness to your breath. What's going on with the breath? See if you can invite a deeper breath in. See if you can start to feel the breath not just expanding in the front body, but maybe a little bit side to side. Maybe you can even feel your breath expanding into the back body now because we're stretching that back body. As you inhale, create space between each vertebra, kind of wiggling up and out. As you exhale, bowing forward, going deeper into the pose, just to your capacity. There's no expectations here. The capacity might be sitting upright. This could be super perfect. Or you might want to bow. Just check in with yourself and see what feels really good in this pose for you. What feels like it's nurturing. Inhale, come all the way up. And we're going to twist and go out over the left leg, lifting and lengthening, exhaling, bowing. Again, you can use the strap. You can walk those right fingertips forward to reach for the front of your shin. Long spine. Side body long, lift that left rib cage away from the top of the left thigh and then bow the belly over the thigh. As you inhale, lift and draw those shoulder blades onto the back and then exhale and bow. Keep the legs strong, root the legs down into the earth. Inhale and come all the way up. Straighten the legs out. Take those hands back behind you. Lift the heart. And then come back up to center. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our mats or wherever you are. You don't really have to turn. We're going to take Baddha Konasana. So in taking Baddha Konasana, in taking Baddha Konasana, you only need 90 degrees. So if you can tell what a corner looks like, 90 degrees, that's all you need. You don't need to be super wide. You're not going to be super close either, so find what works. And then make sure that you have support up underneath your hips if you need them. I like to use a blanket under my hips, and it just depends on the day how much blanket I'm going to need. It just goes under the sitting bones though. So we're going to sit up nice and straight and tall. And then exhale, and we're just going to keep folding forward, keeping a nice long back, and we're hinging at the hips just like we would do in Uttanasana. So just a nice forward fold. Keep the legs engaged. This is an important part of this Hatha Yoga practice, is that the feet are engaged, the legs are pressing down, the thighs are pressing down. Keep these muscles working. Isometrically, try to squeeze your legs to the midline like you want to close them so you can feel those inner thighs fire. Extend your tailbone down towards the floor and then bow forward. Use your breath, either complete 3-step yogic breath, or you can also, you definitely do Ujjayi if that is in your arsenal for your yoga practice. It's in your toolbox, that tone in the back of the throat. Press the tops of those thighs down. Squeeze the glutes. Keep those legs really strong, press them down, use the fingertips. Inhale, come all the way up. Inhale and go to the left. Lift up, and we're going to bow towards that left leg.
Every inhale creates length. Every exhale, you can bow. The inhale creates strength in the legs, length in the spine. Exhale and release into the stretch. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale to the right, lift up and bow. So squeeze those muscles of the legs onto the bones, just like a hug. Work the muscles of the gluteus as well in your buttocks. You want to engage them so that they feel that they're supporting the hips. Extend the tailbone down, and as you inhale, lengthen, get long in that spine. Exhale, stretch the spine forward and out to bow. Wherever we are, whether we're sitting upright or we keep inching forward, know that where you are is perfect. That if you were anywhere else in the pose, it wouldn't open for you. If we push too hard, too fast, the body will not respond. It won't open. It actually will create distress inside of our nervous system. So make sure that you find your edge, your capacity, and just work there. Because this practice belongs to you. Inhale and come up. Good. Come back to center. Let's bend the knees and bring the feet towards the center, but flex the feet. So Baddha Konasana, we would bring the soles of the feet together. Here, I want you to flex the feet. I want you to lift the knees a little bit so you feel the inner thighs fire. You can hold at the front of the shins and sit up right here, or you can start to bow forward, and this is called an Omega pose. Working to keep that spine as long as possible and only going to your capacity. Inhale and come all the way up. Let's bring those knees up, straighten the legs out, and shake it out. We're gonna lie down onto our backs. Take your feet as wide apart as your sticky mat. You can have your arms up and overhead. And now we're gonna take both knees to the right, or to the left, excuse me. And take your left hand, hold your right wrist, and stretch that right arm up and away, and the right knee down and away. Just to your capacity. Release the hold on the wrist, bring the knees up, clasp your left wrist with the right hand, lay both of your knees to the right, and stretch up through that left side body. Inhale, knees up again. Release the clasp of the wrists. This time, arms are just up and overhead. Exhale, knees left.
Inhale up. Exhale, knees right. Inhale up. Now, walk those feet towards each other. Press your shoulders and the backs of your arms down into the floor. Feet, heels into the floor. Inhale, lift those hips up, Setu Nice, easy bridge. Exhale, release those hips down to the floor. Inhale and lift up. Keeping your gaze towards the ceiling, pressing gently back through the eyes. Do not turn your head side to side in this pose. Exhale, lower the hips down. And inhale the hips up one more time. Inhaling up. Heels pressing down into the floor, pressing the back of the head, shoulders down into the earth, all of the spine lifted up. Exhale and release the hips down. Pause here, keep the feet and knees hip distance apart. Breathe. Notice the capacity of your breath. Now straighten your right leg out onto the floor, draw your left knee into your chest. From here, lift your head up, look at your right foot, and lift your right foot about 5 inches up off the floor. 5 inches is going to be about the height of a block. And right here, I want you to do little pulses slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then take your foot to the corner of your mat, toes pointing up, the legs not turned out but up. And then 5 pulses again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that leg back to center, set the heel down, set the leg down, and then straighten your left leg out to meet the right. Now draw your right knee into your chest. We're going to lift that foot up about 5 inches. And we're going to pulse for a count of 5, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to take it out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bring it back to center. Place the foot down. Straighten your right leg out to meet the left. Draw both knees back into your chest. Give the body a hug. Gently roll side to side. Feet down, knees bent, hands on the belly. Nice deep breath in here. Exhale and out. To straighten your legs out, I want you to lead with the inner seam of your leg. So leading with your inner thigh, your inner knee, and your inner heel, straightening that left leg out, and straightening the right leg out. So we're gonna get set up for Shavasana here. Position that feels like you can just let go. And then take a nice deep breath in. Snuggle those shoulder blades onto your back. And as you exhale, I want you to just let your body go into the floor. Feel your heels, your calves, your thighs and hips, your low back, mid back and upper back, and the back of the head. Let them all sink down into the earth with every breath. And then bringing awareness to the muscles, the bones, and all the organs inside of your body, inside of your temple. Relax the bones, the muscles, and the organs all the way down into the back body, onto the floor. The tops of the feet, your ankles and shins, knees and thighs, pelvis, belly, ribs, chest, the palms, the hands, and the eyes, the elbows, your throat and face and forehead, all rest onto the skeleton and the muscles and the organs of the body, which all rest into the back body, all resting and supported fully on the earth. Relax the arches in your feet. Relax the palms of your hands. Relax the space between your eyebrows and the forehead. Releasing, letting go. Nothing to do.
Bringing your awareness into your body, lying on the earth. Invite a deeper breath in and another deeper breath still, all the way down to the tips of the toes and the tips of the fingers, illuminating every cell of your body. Stretch through the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands. Draw your knees into your chest and roll to your right side. Scan your body and check in. Check in with your physical body. Check in with the quality of your mind, your emotions, and the quality of your heart, the essence of your being. It's my sincere hope that your practice has brought you back closer to in touch with who you truly are. That you feel more steady, more at ease, more settled inside of your own skin, and that your central nervous system has calmed down a little bit for the evening. I invite you to bring your hands together in front of your heart. We can chant one Om together to close out our practice time. Exhale, release the breath. Take a nice full breath in for Om. And bow to the divine light within you that takes the form of you as you so perfectly in this very moment. Thank you so much for your presence and for your practice. You are each a dear gift in my journey, and I'm so grateful to share this time and this experience with great community. Namaste.